Many of the locations that I've filmed are demolished or redeveloped into something more beneficial to the city or town that they were rotting in. There are many success stories about what some of these places have become, and just as many failures. I find it interesting how one can drive past a structure for decades, and when that structure is gone or changed, one can adapt to the new situation rather quickly, sometimes without even giving it a single thought. I'm going to follow up on a few of my favorite locations and let you decide what was more interesting. What is or what was. It's been over a year already since I filmed the last look inside of the Altoona Area High School B building, and ever since, I've checked in from time to time to film bits of progress while patiently waiting for the new project to be completely finished. The high school itself has been open for learning now for most of the year, but I'm not as focused on the school itself as I am the lot where the B building once stood. The new high school building really is amazing in many ways, not to mention the updated field house and new gym that is state of the art. As you know, the B building is gone now, and instead of just turning it into a parking lot, what sits on the current lot will most definitely get a lot of use. Before we get into what is, let's take a quick look at what was.
A letter, a Chromebook, and a face mask. These are just a few of the things the Altoona Area High School will bury in a time capsule, and it's all to celebrate this school's new B building.
So the school buried the capsule under the cornerstone of the new B building during a ceremony held outside this afternoon. The school's principal hopes that whoever opens the capsule can see how much pride Altoona High School had.
That at that time when they open it, they really feel like, we set them on a good path. I hope that they understand that Altoona, the community, values education. We value providing the experiences that our students need to succeed.
The time capsule will stay sealed for the next 100 years.
So I came back to this project every couple weeks, just to kind of get the same views and the same angles each time to show you guys the progress. And obviously it took over a year, but I had planned this way back when I filmed the B building originally. I knew that I was going to be coming back and doing this. Now, obviously at first, when the demolition was going on, I had to come more frequently and film that progress as much as possible. But after the building was down and it was getting cleaned up, the progress seemed to have kind of slowed. I don't think it really did in all actuality, but when the building was gone, it just didn't seem like there was much more to look at. So I was just patiently waiting for the field to get done. And I'm really glad that I did this, because I don't think that anyone else in the area really kept up with the progress. Maybe here and there you can find a video on it, but not from start to finish. So a lot of people might wonder why I would take the time to do this, but I feel like it's an $88 million project. It's a really big deal in the city of Altoona, and when it comes to educating kids, I can't think of anything much more important than that. So it's pretty exciting, that this is all getting done, and this is going to be this way for at least the next 100 years, I would say. I don't think that anyone's going to be updating this anytime in the near future. So, and another thing is, with the B building, I don't think that there's any other in-depth footage like I got of it. If there is, that would be great. I would love to see it, but I haven't seen it. So I think that that's the only full-length video of the inside, and I just think that it's really important to document history like that, because I really wish that there was footage of the inside of the old brownstone Altoona High. Had I been alive, when it was in its glory, I would have documented it. Maybe not with video back then, but I would have gotten photographs. So, at least I got the newer, updated B building. But it's just crazy how things go through its changes and how things are updated and then they're completely forgotten about afterward. These are lockers. I hope that this video and YouTube as a whole lasts for many years to come, so that people can look back on this and just know what it used to look like. That's all that matters. So that's what happened to the artwork on the inside of the building. Now, many people still believe to this day that this entire $88 million project was a huge waste of taxpayers' dollars. I was kind of on the fence about it as well, until I heard firsthand what all the new school has to offer compared to the old one. I don't get political on this channel or usually share my opinion, but I will say that the new project has grown on me. Not that the average person like me has a say in it anyway. I am glad that the kids in this town at least have a fighting chance at a future with the amount of updated programs here. But what do you think was better? What was, or what is?
When you think of the future, you likely envision the remarkable technologies that you've seen in comic books and films. You may begin to picture flying cars, trains driven by electromagnets, or household robots that will see to your every need. While modern scientists agree that many of these inventions are either unlikely or unnecessary, it may surprise you to learn what the future could actually hold. Imagine being able to share your thoughts with millions of people at once, simply by typing them on a keyboard and sending them through the air. Think of what life will be like when all of the many fixtures of an office, including a typewriter and an entire Rolodex, can fit within a device smaller than a loaf of bread. Consider the vacation plans you could make when a single trip on an airplane is all that's needed to visit anywhere on Earth. Yes, the future certainly looks bright, but it isn't without its darker sides. According to some predictions, obesity will likely run rampant, and political corruption will become so commonplace as to be accepted. People with nothing entertaining or informative to say will broadcast their demands for attention, and once beloved performers will become pushers of snake oil. Perhaps worst of all will be the emergence of a deadly and potentially devastating disease. Think of the last time that you contracted influenza. You were likely bedridden for days, having no appetite or desire to play games. Experts predict that by the year 2020, a new virus will rise, spreading from somewhere in Asia to the rest of the world. And with international travel being available to even the most common citizen, a sickness which would have been contained in years past will quickly spread to all corners of the globe.
Check it out, man. I mean, this merch is like really sick. Check me out, bro.